In ancient times, the concept of a subterranean land inside the earth appeared in mythology, folklore, and legends. Between the 17th and 19th centuries, many conjectured that the earth might consist of a hollow shell about 1,000 kilometers thick, containing a large glowing sphere at its core. English astronomer Edmund Halley was one of the most famous hollow earth proponents. However, though our planet does feature several large caves and natural tunnels, the study of seismic waves indicates that the Earth is mostly filled with solid rock and iron-nickel alloy. For millennia, hell has been believed to be located beneath the Earth's crust. Various locations around the world have been regarded as gates of hell, such as Mammoth Cave in the state of Kentucky, Hollow Cave in Switzerland, Veriovkina Cave in the Republic of Georgia, and Hansondong Cave in Vietnam. Christianity and Islam usually depict hell as an eternal destination, whereas other religions usually view it as an intermediary period between incarnations or a purging place before ascent to heaven. In the ancient Egyptian religion, the deceased lingered in hell until their soul was weighed on the scale by Anubis, while Thoth recorded the result. If the soul was lighter than the feather of truth, it would be allowed to pass into heaven. If not, it would be devoured by Ammit. By contrast, in the ancient Sumerian religion, good and evil souls alike ended up in an underworld called Kur, where they would spend eternity, and occasionally roam the earth as hungry ghosts. The Sumerian concept of Kur may be equated with the deep biosphere, where microscopic monstrous beasts live in extreme conditions. In most Iranian languages, Kur was known as Duzak, while the equivalent in Mongolian and most Turkic languages was Tam, cognate with the Finnic name Tuonela. A similar notion of a chthonic world was also present in both Native American civilizations and Himalayan cultures. Colossus, which was the ancient Greek version of Kur, was believed to be ruled by the god Hades and guarded by his dog Cerberus. Greek philosophers introduced the idea that as mortals are judged after death, they may be sent to the Tartarian Abyss, the Asphodel Meadows, or the Elysian Fields, depending on their behavior on Earth. These three locales were revisited in the early 14th century by the Italian poet Dante Alighieri, who renamed them Inferno, Purgatorio and Paradiso. Inferno, which simply means lower realm, was described as having 9 circles or levels. The Divine Comedy inspired several works by British authors and artists, such as the poem Paradise Lost, written by John Milton between 1667 and 1674, and the esoteric engravings produced by William Blake about 150 years later. The Kabbalah describes 7 regions of hell, which is traditionally considered to be a spiritual forge where sinful souls are purified. In Southeast Asia, hell is known by its Sanskrit name Naraka, or its Pali equivalent Niyala. The Buddha's disciple Devadatta, who repeatedly tried to kill the Buddha, as well as create a schism in the monastic order, is said to have been reborn in the worst region of hell. However, there is disagreement about how many regions hell contains. Jainists count 7, Buddhists describe 16, while Hindus say there may be up to 28. In Chinese mythology, hell is known as Diyu, and is said to have 9, 10, or even 18 subdivisions. As a matter of fact, the name Diu means earthly prison, and is often described as Rengian Diu or Huo Diu, which translate to human hell and live in hell, respectively. Siddhartha Gautama endured the hellish ordeal of temptation as the demon Mara tried in vain to confound him before he became the Buddha. Jesus Christ is said to have been tempted by Satan in the desert and to have visited hell after his crucifixion. Actually, hell may be experienced in our everyday life rather than in an obscure chthonic afterlife. Hell has no limits, nor is circumscribed in one self-place. For where we are is hell, and where is hell is there must we ever be. We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. Those who promise us paradise on earth never produced anything but a hell. Stupidity invariably leads to misery. A fool's paradise is a wise man's hell. Stupidity is not an intellectual defect, but a moral one. Unlike congenital mental impairment, stupidity is related to idleness and passivity. It shares etymology with the word stupor, which refers to emotional numbing. Stupidity is the refusal to expand one's awareness, engage in critical thinking, and rely on common sense. In his 1987 lectures, Anton LaVey, who certainly knew a thing or two about hell, stated that stupidity is the number one cardinal sin and the root of all evil and suffering.